it's nice to be able to make a video and post it again, because for the last 36 hours, this channel was not ours. And it belonged to someone from another country. I don't want to call out the country. It was Russia. We're happy to have it back. Hugely thankful to Google for the customer service. I'm just gonna kind of start back at square one and tell you guys exactly how this happened, and why this happened, how we were able to fix it, and how you can avoid the same thing happening to you. Let's rewind to about 2 days ago. As you can imagine, we get a lot of emails. A lot of them are kind of partnership and sponsorship opportunities. One of them that we recently got was from Canon cameras. I thought it was from Canon cameras. It wasn't. So we got an email from an email address that was from Canon's email address. So I don't know if they're able to use some type of proxy or send it through, I don't know. I'm not the biggest tech guy ever, but it was from a legitimate Canon email address. What it was a sponsorship opportunity for us. Canon was going to give us a camera at a discounted rate, and we were going to use it on our YouTube videos and, you know, kind of give them a shout out, which sounds legitimate. If we had a channel with maybe 1,000 followers, I'd be like, yeah, this is obviously a scam. But since we do have a larger channel, it sounded legit. And I said, yes, we are interested in that. And they said, okay, we're going to send you over a list of all of our current camera offerings so you can pick out which one you'd be interested in. And also just kind of a walkthrough of exactly what our partnership entails. Okay, that sounds great, thank you. So we get the email, and I thought it was a PDF file. It wasn't a PDF file. I tried to open this PDF file, or what looked like a PDF file, and it didn't open. And it gave me a pop-up saying like error, you know, unable to open or something like that. So I was like, clicked okay, whatever. Went on with my day, emailed him back a little bit later and said, hey, you know, I think that file got corrupt when you sent it. I wasn't able to open it. Didn't get a response for a day. And then I'm usually up pretty late. I went to bed at probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 5:30 in the morning, I got a phone call from one of our staff members in Florida saying like, hey, what's going on with the YouTube channel? And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, it's like Tesla stuff. And I'm like, what? I'm just thinking like it must be some kind of mistake. So then I go to log into our YouTube channel and I can't log in. So I go to my personal YouTube channel and type in Save a Fox, SpaceX, Tesla, Bitcoin, live stream. Oh no, something bad has happened here. First thing I do is recovery options. I'm like, okay, well, we have two-factor authentication turned on. We have our phone numbers linked to it. We have email addresses linked to it. We have a physical security passkey. We have like the master backup codes. Like every single security option we have turned on. And it always has been that way with every platform. So I'm trying to use the backup codes. I'm trying to use the email recovery options. None of it works because they changed the backup codes. They changed all the email addresses associated with the account. And they also changed the phone numbers. Completely locked out. And also received no notifications through any of this. So I'm like, how is this possible? Like, this does not make any sense. I haven't even linked it to the Canon email at this point. Our Instagram, our Facebook, and our email was completely blowing up with people telling us that we've been hacked. I'm like, yeah, I know. Thank you for the heads up, but I know. Oh my gosh. Someone had said in an email, as I'm just kind of browsing through them, like, oh, this looks like the same thing that happened to Linus Tech Tips. And I was like, oh, interesting. I must have missed that video. I don't really have that much time to watch videos anymore, but I went to his channel, watched it. Exact same thing. Like if I had watched this video, this probably never would have happened. I need to get a hold of Google like ASAP. Creator support, which is super helpful, would have been my first option, but I couldn't access the email account that was linked to YouTube creator support. So that wasn't an option. And we didn't have a secondary YouTube channel that had creator support. So that was out entirely. You can't just call them. I tried calling. They have offices in Wisconsin and Chicago, and I tried calling all of these offices and got nowhere with it. Then what I'm doing is I'm like going through and looking up Google employees or like former employees and doing like background checks to find their personal phone numbers, and I'm just calling these people like just out of the blue. One guy did call me back actually. His employment with Google didn't end on a positive note, so he was not able to help. As I'm doing this, I also realized that YouTube support has a Twitter account that is actually pretty responsive. So I did gain a little bit of traction there, but what really helped out was I got a phone call out of the blue from someone that is a Fox fan that works for Google. And like immediately I was like skeptical. I don't want any more hackers. I talked to the guy, got an email from Google that was legit. He was able to help us out. This whole process took about 24 hours from start to finish, of which I was awake for all of. I literally slept for 3 hours, woke up, dealt with all of this stuff, talked it through with the Google employee, and as he said, you know, it probably is the same thing that happened to Linus Tech Tips, which what they do is they hijack your session token, which, to simplify it, they are able to replicate everything on your browser on their computer and make it look like a familiar device to all of your accounts. So everything that I was logged into on the browser, they had access to. So now I'm like, okay, YouTube is a big deal, like for the rescue. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, I was logged into, you know, this is my personal computer. I was logged into bank accounts, credit cards, other social media stuff. So for essentially like 2 days straight, I'm going through and I'm changing all passwords, logging out of all devices, turning off automatic sign in, changing two-factor authentication, everything. This was basically 2 days that I did not plan for. Basically, be extremely skeptical of any sponsorship offers you get if you are a content creator. I would say what I could have done differently is maybe done a little bit of background research on the person that had emailed us from Canon, and there's a possibility that they would have their own dedicated email address and I would have realized that it wasn't the same. Also, don't open files. Just don't open files. And if you are downloading a file, check the properties and make sure that it is actually a PDF file and not something else. Am I at fault for this? Yeah, I am. But if it happened to someone at Linus Tech Tips, I mean, those guys are tech experts, so I really don't feel so bad about it. But we were able to get it back. I just went through and changed the privacy settings on all the videos because they made them private. They didn't delete them, thankfully. So that wasn't the biggest mess ever. But getting back to session token hacking, they really need some extra parameters regarding that. Like, if I were to log into the YouTube account and I wanted to make all the videos private, change the name, like that should have immediately popped up with like making them re-sign in or do a two-factor authentication. Well, and not only that, because so when they got logged in, they made all videos private, changed the phone numbers, changed the emails. That right there should have triggered something, like put a freeze on the account until you can confirm your identity if you want to make this many changes. Would have been nice. I have no complaints at all about Google's customer service. Google was amazing helping us try to get this account back and secured, which brings me to my next point. The customer service and security of another large platform, Facebook, has been hands down the worst I have ever dealt with in my entire life. So believe it or not, our Save a Fox Facebook page was compromised about 2 months ago. 2 months, and it still is. And I've been talking with Meta and pestering them all the time. Like, we need an update on this. I can't change anything on a lot of the business and financial aspects on our Facebook page. And I have no idea I have no idea where any money is going regarding Facebook advertisements. I can't control any of it. I can't see it. And Facebook has been almost zero help. They ask for bank statements and driver's license, passports, proof of that you live at your address. I've sent them everything, letterheads explaining exactly what happened, screenshots for proof, and their response, we were unable to come to a resolution. Oh, really? So like 5 people immediately log in, kick us out, and that's not like obvious enough for you. So if you have a problem with any of these large companies, you are at the mercy of them. They're the only ones that can help you. The cops aren't gonna help, politicians aren't gonna help. There's very few people that can actually help you get back into your account. You just get on your knees and beg and say, please, please, please help me. When you're using any online accounts, don't ever use a debit card. Never, ever, ever use a debit card. Only credit cards. Debit card is a direct link to your bank account. So like if you're, not to call out a specific company, but if you're ordering something on Temu, don't put your debit card in there. Don't order at all, but if you're going to, use your credit card at least, because it's a lot easier to get money back from a credit card than it is when it's already pulled straight out of your bank account. Another thing is, if you don't absolutely need social media, don't use it, because it's super risky. Like, this was, what happened to us could have been one step away from identity theft. and I'm still nervous about it. Like, I haven't slept great in the last 3 days. I'm hoping this is the end of it, but I also hope this video helps other people to just be mindful of emails that you get and offers, partnerships. And I also hope nobody clicked any of the links that were in that live stream, because that for sure, guaranteed, was going to scam you of your money. We are happy to have the channel back. We're gonna keep making content for you guys, and hopefully this doesn't happen again, but if it does, please don't report the channel. Contacting us is the best thing to do. If you contact someone that works at Google or Facebook or whatever, even better. But reporting the channel affects the algorithm negatively when we get it back, because those reports do stick with it. Thank you everyone that notified us that that we had turned into SpaceX, and thank you to the Google staff that helped us get the account back, and thank you to everyone that supports us, and that's pretty much all I got.
Goodbye.